Hey, it's James here from GOODGUITARIST.com, and today I'm going to show you how to play Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton. Here's a look at what we'll be doing today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving across the page. Suddenly the day turns into night, far away from the city. But don't hesitate, 'cause your love won't wait. Ooh, baby, I love your way. And this is one of those tunes that when you type like Baby I Love Your Way tab in Google and you look it up, it looks really crazy, but it's actually just 2 chord shapes and 1 essential technique. If you can get that down, the song isn't too difficult. Really quick before we get started, if you have not yet grabbed your copy of my free ebook, I'll put a link to that in the corner. And while you're doing that, if you enjoy learning guitar with me, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, just say hi in the comments down below. You know, I do love hearing from you guys and I do appreciate your support. Anyways, we're going to get started with the verse. The essential technique involves muting the excess strings. You know, our chord shape is just 3 notes. We're playing the 10th fret of the A string with our index, and then I'm playing the 12th fret of the B string with my pinky. That's how Peter Frampton plays it. That's what's comfortable for me. Some people make a stretch. They play it like this. That's cool. I find you have to put your guitar up a bit more, and it's just not as comfy as this one. And we're also getting the open G string when we do this, right? So we're getting 3 strings in total, and we're muting 3 strings here. And the trick for that one is getting your index finger in the perfect spot. So when I press down the 10th fret, my index finger's resting underneath the thickest string and lightly touching it, and the pad of my finger is lightly touching the D string, but I'm leaving enough clearance for an open G string. So there's this exact angle where you'd get mute, 10, mute, open. And you don't, if I were to like sacrifice any part of this, it would be that open string. So definitely make sure that the D and E strings are muted and that you're pressing that note. And then the rest of it, your pinky playing the 12th fret, your pinky's going to automatically mute the thinnest string. So all in all, mute, 10, mute, open, 12, and then mute. And now for the next shape, I'm going to move my index finger down 1 fret to the 9th fret, and my pinky down 2 frets to the 10th fret. And this is a very similar shape. The difference is in our first shape, there's 1 fret of space between our fingers. Now there is no space between our fingers. And rather than just show you like 10th fret, 6th fret, blah, 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 I'm going to show you an easy way to visualize this thing so that you don't screw it up. We're going to start with just our index finger. We go 10, then we're going to go on all the inlays. Your guitar should have dots on the 9th, 7th, 5th, and 3rd fret. So those are the next ones that we do. You know, we go 10, 9, 7, 5, 3. And we're going to add obviously like rhythm and all that stuff in a minute, but I just want to show you how to get the chords down so that you don't have to think about it later and you can focus on the other stuff. And once we have those notes guiding us, we can add our pinky, and we can think we either have the wider shape that has the fret of space in the middle, or we have the narrower shape. And I'm going to call this wider shape major and the narrower one minor. It's a bit of an oversimplification if you get into the theory of it, but I don't want to do that right now. Let's just learn the thing. So we have our, just for that one person in the comments, it's like, technically that's a major inverted chord. Anyways, we start off with our major shape. and our index on the 10th fret. Then when we go to the 9th fret, it's minor. When we go to the 7th fret, it's minor, once again, so no space. When we go to the 5th fret, it's major. And when we go to the 3rd fret, it's major. And remember, I'm just following the inlays with my index finger, and then my pinky is determined by whether it's major or minor, whether there's space or not. So let's do that one more time. 10, 9 minor, 7 minor, 5 major, 3 major. And, you know, this is the time for you to just do that over and over and over again. Just strumming it, making it as clean as you can. And then we can add some strumming to it. And the strumming is, he uses the most common strumming pattern ever for the chorus. You know, down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And if you're not familiar with that, you should be, because it's in like 90% of songs. I have a separate lesson that goes over it and breaks it down, but I'll just count it out really slowly. 1 and 2 and miss and 4. And, you know, we're missing beat 3, so I even say that out loud at first to get used to it. And then down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. And I go through that extensively in a separate lesson. I'll put a link to that in the corner. Anyways, for the verse, we're going to take a few strokes out of that. We're going to end up with down, miss, up, down. One more time. Down, miss, up, down. So we only have 2 components, really. We have a downstroke or a miss up. A down on beat 1, a miss up on beat 2, a miss up on beat 3, and then a down on beat 4. I want you to try that over and over again, even just muting the strings, or else you might get like, you know, it might hurt your fingers if you're just holding this thing for like 10 minutes. But, you know, down, up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, down. And it's really important to keep your arm moving the whole time, right? Because when you have lots of upstrokes, lots of syncopation, you got to keep your arm moving down and up to keep you in time with the song. And then you just make contact when you need it. You know, that's kind of like the principle of strumming. And then we apply this strumming pattern to our shapes that we've learned so far, but there are going to be some variations. So let's just walk through it. We do it one time on this first chord, which we'll call G, and then once on the next one. And now when we get to this next shape with our index on the 7th fret, we're going to add an upstroke to the end of our pattern. So down, up, down, up. And now we're going to play something totally different. We're going to go miss, up, down, down. We can think about the pattern. We either have miss ups or downs. On beat 1 is a miss up. On 2 is a miss up. On beat 3 is a down, and beat 4 is a down. You know, so we're on this shape, miss, up, then down. We switch to the next shape with the index at the 5th fret, down. This is by far the hardest part of the song. I would go over it many, many times, even backing up a little bit, going down, up, down, up, down, down. Take a look at the counting. It's really important that you count this one out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you know, this is the part where you're gonna have to pause it and really, really work on it a bunch of times. We end up on this shape right here, our index on the 3rd fret. This is like a C chord. And we go back to our regular pattern. And we do it 2 times. And then we're going to go to this jazzy chord here, an F9. And for that one, my middle finger goes on the 8th fret of the A string. My index is on the 7th fret of the D string. And if you want to do it an easier way, you put your ring finger on the 8th fret and then your pinky on the 8th fret of the G and B strings. You know, so it kind of is like a G chord. Like if you made a G chord here at the 8th fret, and then you just took your middle and your index down, and then you took your ring and pinky and put them up, that's this F9 chord. But the way that Peter Frampton would play it, and the way that I'd prefer to play it as well, is by barring your ring finger on the top 3 strings at the 8th fret. It takes a bit of getting used to. You know, for this one, like, you really pull your elbow out and use the side of your ring finger, the side of your middle finger. This is definitely an intermediate or more advanced chord voicing, but great if you love James Brown. You know, it's that thing, right? Anyways, we have our F9, whether you do the easier one or and we strum it with our pattern 2 times. And that gives us our entire verse. I'm gonna play through it very slowly now. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. And that is the verse. Luckily, this song's really repetitive, so like for every verse, you just do it exactly like that. The next section is the pre-chorus, and here we have some more like jazzy chord shapes. Depending on what era of Peter Frampton, he'll play them in a different way. If you watch like in the 70s, he'll play this B minor 7 chord like this, with his thumb playing the 7th fret of the thickest string. Then you skip the A string, and then your index finger plays 7, 7, 7 on the D, G, and B strings, and then the thinnest string is muted, and the A string is also muted by the tip of his thumb, actually. And that is pretty tricky. I actually have 2 alternatives for you. This first one is gonna get the same notes. We're gonna use our middle finger on the 7th fret of the thickest string instead, and our ring finger plays those other ones. This is like the jazz school voicing, and it's very similar to that F9 shape. It's just this part of it, but in a different spot. So if you get used to that, you'll also get used to this, you know, so kind of like 2 birds with 1 stone. But this is still a bit tricky. The other one would be to just bar the 7th fret with your index finger and then put your ring finger on the 9th fret of the A string. And if you watch Peter Frampton in more recent times, you know, old Peter Frampton, you know, like in the last 10 years or so, he'll play it this way. But these are all B minor 7 chords, and they're all kind of tricky. You know what? I'll make an easier version of this tune. If you guys want it, like, you know, if this is a bit too much, just let me know in the comments down below, and I definitely can get started on that. Anyways, we have a B minor 7 chord, and then we're gonna go to E7. And this is just like a C chord, but your ring finger's on the 7th fret, and then your pinky is on the G string, also at the 7th fret. And then we do the same thing, but 2 frets lower. So A minor 7, it's the same shape, but on the 5th fret, and then D7, same thing, but on the 5th fret. So the pre-chorus, we're also gonna use the most common strumming pattern ever, and we'll just play it 2 times per shape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't hesitate, 'cause your love won't wait. After the pre-chorus, we have the chorus, and this is easy. We're just strumming G, D, A minor, C, 1 time each with the most common strumming pattern ever. We do that 3 times total. That is the chorus. You know, if you're playing along with the rest of it, I don't think you need to practice that, but I'll just quickly. Ooh, baby, I love you, baby, every day. I wanna tell you I love you, baby. You know, it's like campfire strumming. And it's really effective, you know, going to such a, like, feels like you're going home, you know, because you're just doing chords and strumming. It's just so big, using the basic chord shapes. You know, a really smart decision on his part, I think, from like a songwriting perspective, to do that rather than like keeping it all jazzy and airy. Anyways, the only section that we haven't touched upon is the intro, and 60% of the intro is the verse, and And then the rest of it is stuff that we've already kind of done, like the pre-chorus. So we're just going to take things we've already done and combine them to create the intro. It starts off just like the verse. And then here, it's a little bit different. We do our C chord one time, and then we go to B minor 7 one time, then A minor 7 one time, and then we do this chord right here. And for this one, I'm barring the 5th fret of the top 5 strings, muting the thickest string with the underside of my index, and then my pinky is playing the 7th fret. And that might be a little too much. You can also modify it by just having your index barring the top 3 strings, and then just playing the top 4 strings like that. That sounds pretty good too. That's not what Peter Frampton's doing, but it sounds like 95% the same. You're welcome to do it. And as far as the rhythm, coming from this A minor 7 chord, we go down, up, down, just like before. And then we quickly switch to this chord and do an upstroke on the and after 4. So quickly switching into it. It's definitely tricky. You're welcome to just go and then doing a downstroke on beat 1, doing this one a little bit later. That'll work too. And then eventually when you're ready, you can do it just like Peter Frampton on the and after 4, switching so quickly and effortlessly. Anyways, I'm going to play through the intro with the metronome. This part's worthy of the metronome here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just a reminder, you can play these like that. The switch is actually easier when you play A minor like that. Not easy, but easier, and it's totally up to you, right? I'm just giving you kind of all the options based on all the different versions of this song that I've listened to and I've seen, not personally in concert, but on YouTube, because he kind of evolved the way that he played the song. Anyways, we have our intro, verse, pre-chorus, and chorus, and we would play them in that order when we perform the tune. And I'm going to do that, just the first part of the song. That way we cover everything. And if you can play through that, you'll be able to play through the rest of the song. So let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. City, but don't hesitate, 'cause your love won't wait. Wanna tell you I love you, baby. I wanna be with you night and day. Let me go back up. And we do the intro again. Anyways, at this point, if you could play through what we just did, you're going to be able to play through the rest of the tune, because we just repeat those sections again. We do the intro again, the verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Then there's an instrumental section, which is like 2 verses, followed by a pre-chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. You know, here's all the sections written out in order. I recommend writing that down somewhere, you know, even if you just kind of print the lyrics or whatever and you write that down. And if you want to play along to the entire song with me, I have that available on my Patreon page. Otherwise, that's it for today's lesson. If you enjoy learning guitar with me, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. If you want to maybe learn an easier version of the tune, and you know, if there's enough demand, I will do that. Also, if you want to improve just your skills overall, I have a ton of courses. I feel Strumming Made Simple, my course Strumming Made Simple, would really apply to this song because the strumming pattern changes a lot. Bar chords made easy as well because it's all about those bar chords. Anyways, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.